Hey, good morning. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. It's
Good
Brent,
morning.
along with Junior.
The last day of Junior.
Beautiful Friday. I don't know, Junior. You may have to come back next week.
You just call me. I'm always
Just come
available.
and say hi.
I sit in the lobby just waiting for Ash to go somewhere.
I talked to Ash yesterday. He was somewhere between Tallahassee and I think they were trying to make it to Pensacola.
Did he make a wrong turn at Albuquerque?
No, yeah. He was on I-10. I said, man, I've made that drive from, I've come all the way from Destin back, and it is a long 10, 11 hours from the Destin area. Pensacola's probably 10 hours to here.
Couldn't be any longer than driving from San Diego to Oklahoma City.
No.
God, I hated that drive.
No. So much of that drive is in Louisiana, where you're on I-10 and all you hear for like 6 hours is
because their highways are jacked up.
I-10 is just jacked.
Yep. Yep. Linda and I were on a motorcycle heading towards Lake Jackson, and that's when they were redoing that highway. What a mess.
Oh.
And it was bumper to bumper, and there we are on a motorcycle. Luckily, it was at night, so it was cool.
Fortunately for us, it's nice and cool in Victoria, Texas. Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Dillon Feed. It's 75 degrees, and it's going to be mostly sunny today with a high of 95. 75 to 95.
Heat index of like 101,
Yeah,
102.
It'll get all up in your feelings. For you Democrats, stay inside. Don't work today. Take the day off. Happy Friday. Hoping you folks are heading into a relaxing weekend. Really, really funny yesterday. I had the opportunity to visit with, you've got JP and Ingra that are on Kicks in the morning. JP's on one of the Kicks channel, 108, 1079. That's where he's at. 1079, the country channel. He and Ingra hold down the morning show. And then he does a Tejano show. Of course, we're here on Magic 95.9, the Tejano leader in the region. And he does a Tejano show, and he told me, he goes, you guys keep doing what you're doing because it in the mornings it drives people to our app. But meaning that there are people, and he's being a little jab, having fun. He means that there's people that just want to hear Tejano music. They don't want to listen to Wade and Carter.
Don't want to hear
so
the truth.
They go over to his Tejano app. But I didn't have the heart to tell him that we're just pulling hundreds of people away from Luke Bryan and Carrie Underwood at 7 in the morning thinking people are over here with us. Yeah, now 100.9, there's your classic country.
Yes.
You know,
man, 100.9 that is some good country.
To make you folks laugh, though. And it was innocent. Yesterday we had our buddy Carlos Salas in here from the Crossroads Troubadours, and he was chatting up, hey, look, it's Thursday night. We're in the concert series at Kicks. We're going to be out in their parking lot, and then after that, the after party is at Dodge City. Well, I gave him a hard time about, you're over here advertising. It'd be kind of like going to Atzenhofer and handing out flyers for Victory GMC. I mean, he's on our radio show talking about, come on out as a radio show is sponsoring our concert.
You mean like going over to Atzenhofer and saying, what a deal?
Yeah, from another dealership. So last night when Dawn and I show up at the event, I've got a Wade and Carter glass in my hand, and in front of Kicks on their parking lot, Carlos says, I want to give a special shout out to Brent and the guys at Wade and Carter. They had me on this morning. It was great to be on their program and visit with them. Be sure you give them a listen in the mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. He gave us a plug on the Kicks parking lot, and I looked at JP. He just shook his head like, bless his heart. He didn't know he was just propping us up, but it worked out really good. This morning, there's Daniel Wade White is in, Roy Gutierrez, Lisa Poole, Patricia Nagel. Good morning, man. Patricia Nagel is going to join us on Monday. Tell us the latest happenings at First State Bank of Louise. Astros update non-existent. Astros were on the road. They're playing Tampa Bay beginning tonight, weekend series. Important series. Tampa Bay is really, really, really good. And the Astros are coming off. I mean, they won the series with the Rangers, but they just got throttled the other night, 13-5. So the Astros really need to play well in Tampa Bay. I'd like to see them win the series. If they can take 2 out of 3 over there, that would be great. There's your lovely wife, Linda.
Good morning, sugar.
H.R. Mallory. He says, finally, Friday is right. There's Judge Posey. Good morning, my friend. Andy Rokovich, Diane Tippett. I had a visit yesterday with Mike DeSanto that used to be on the school board.
Okay.
And we just collectively kind of shook our heads. I won't quote Mike, but I'll get him on the air here pretty soon. We'll talk about.
But he had concerns.
Well, I think everybody does, right? You've got to have some concerns. There's J.P. Hull, not Hall, Hull, like the hull of an airplane,
Hull.
of an aircraft, the hull of a
ship.
yacht. J.P. Yacht. It's not a genre; it's a lifestyle.
It is.
Scott Snow, HR says, yep, 110 in the parking lot in L.A. is massive. Oh, I-10 parking lot in Louisiana is massive. There you go. That's what it's saying. Stephanie Conti checks in. Ricky King, Will Vincent.
Isn't that Ricky Champagne King?
That's Ricky Champagne King, driver extraordinaire. Dottie Bitterly. You know what Ricky helps you understand? He puts things in perspective about fuel costs and things like that. You know, when you're getting 8 miles to the gallon, you're driving 500 miles a day, yada, yada, yada. 4 cents equals X number of dollars at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And he's right. Very, very right. Correct. Often. The Fed raised interest rates the other day, a quarter point, just because the economy's doing so good. The economy's doing so good under Bidenomics, they're calling it. Bidenomics. The economy is just soaring. So we've got to raise the interest rate to stop inflation.
Well, it's only that in name because he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about.
No clue. You ever hear any more about Mitch McConnell? I have not. I don't know if he had.
No, I haven't heard much about him.
I think he had a TIA.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Linda and I was watching it, and I went, "That's a mini stroke."
Yeah.
Either that or his. I saw something funny. It says it showed Mitch McConnell talking, and all of a sudden he's like, and it says, 45 minutes later, the gummy kicked in.
Yeah, no kidding. Gummy says, hey, it's no big deal.
These gummies ain't nothing. 45 minutes later.
My buddy Joe Mendenhall checks in. He's up in the Hurst, Euless, Bedford area. He's always traveling. Summertimes, he's all over the world. And then there's Tammy Keeling. Tammy, good morning, ma'am. Tammy now checks in as Tammy. See, now back in the day, Tammy was listening.
Yeah.
But when she was on the school board, she didn't check in as Tammy. Now we're just friends again.
What did she have, like a pseudo like me?
No. That's Paul Pulasic that has multiple Facebook characters. For real. Had like 4 or 5.
You know,
he used to have conversations with himself on Facebook. Paul
you know how I became Junior Samples?
Not exactly.
Okay. Well, you know, I had a Facebook page for Rob Christ, and it was pretty active, and they made me mad because they were coming in with this ability to control what you say and la-da-da-da-da. So I got rid of that page. And I thought, oh, man, you know, I sell a lot of stuff on Facebook Market. So I came back and I created this Facebook Market page called Junior Samples Used Car Lot type thing.
Right.
And then I thought, oh, I can't do that because that's Junior Samples. So I put 2 P's in it to change it to make it where I won't get hung on the fence. And I started so I could sell stuff.
Right.
Well, that's about the time Pat Strauss got me involved in listening to you guys. He goes, man, you got to check these guys out. They're funny. It's good information. La da da da. Little did I know that me and my big mouth would get me here.
Look how far you've come.
I know. I can see.
How is P. Strauss? I haven't seen Patrick Strauss in months.
You wouldn't recognize him. He has a beard and yeah. He's got the full goatee.
We offended him once. I don't remember what it was. It was something about A&M. We got him excited for a couple of days.
That and St. Joe. There was some stuff said about St. Joe too.
That upset him.
Yeah.
Did we say something bad about St. Joe?
Well, it had to do with the school vouchers and the taxes. That was about the time that they were coming out with that school board thing, and there was
some tension
interaction
there.
Yeah, but Pat's a good guy. He's
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. I
it'll-
love our
it'll wash
listeners
off.
because we can. Oh no, he's super friendly. We can disagree about things, and
God,
still,
he can
and then
catch
still
trout.
agree.
I've never seen one human being catch so much damn fish.
But you know what that means? He fishes a lot.
Yes, and he's good at it. I mean, you could stand right next to him, throw the same dadgum bait, and he will catch your limit.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna tell you another thing. He's a crack shot. He and I went dove hunting down in the valley, and this dove come humping across it about 75 yards from right to left, and I went, Pat, incoming, because I knew my shotgun couldn't reach it. He was shooting a Browning A5, that old humpback.
Nice gun.
And he reached out and tapped that dove and chuckled the whole way. He walked over and picked it
That's
up and
awesome.
come back. And I'm like, golly.
There's Torrin Bales checking in. Scott Tomko says that McConnell he rallied because of the shot that Nancy Pelosi gave, and it wasn't with a hypodermic. She just gave him a shot of her vodka. Kicked Mitch back in. I don't know. When you look around at the characters, I can't think of a time, party notwithstanding, and we're going to talk about your buddy John Cornyn in a second.
Oh, brother.
But parties notwithstanding, it is inarguable that Joe Biden is mentally compromised, that Mitch McConnell is 81 and doesn't look good for 81.
No.
Mitch McConnell is an old man, and
Yep.
he is in a rough and tumble game.
Look at Fetterman. He's young and
Fetterman.
he's fried.
Those guys, they are representing entire constituencies in their states and in this case, the nation.
AOC?
AOC, who's just, I'm sorry, she's an idiot. Diane Feinstein, Diane, she can't even carry her.
Well, I mean, she's
Senate's-
90-something now, isn't she? I mean, she's up there.
These people, why do they keep electing these people? And then to bring it home to you, why do we keep electing John Cornyn?
Well, Nancy Pelosi's got to be 85. But, you know,
So a bill was put out to, hello, Mark Kurtz. A bill was put out to allow the United States military to
Right.
reinstate those that they dismissed
they were forced out.
who refused
Now, Ted
to
Cruz
take
put
the
this
jab.
bill out. Ted Cruz wrote the bill.
Ted Cruz said, look, can you see, Ted? Now that the pandemic's over, it makes perfect sense to
Yep.
reinstate these good, actually smarter than most
Well-
military people.
Not only that, but they should be put back in because they were right.
Right, they were correct. They disobeyed an unconstitutional order.
Yeah, that's correct.
So
That's
they
the way I
had the
look at
right
it.
to do that. At any rate, ideology or idealism aside, if John Cornyn wants to say they disobeyed a direct order and therefore they're not fit for military service, that's a lie. My question is, how many people voted against letting these people back into the military?
3 that are important.
Okay.
Mitt Romney, which is that one doesn't surprise me. There's a Republican, and these are all Republicans or Republicans in name only. There's another Republican from Louisiana who is Senator Kennedy's cohort. And then there's our, drumroll please, John Cornyn.
John Cornyn,
Piece of walk.
a Texan voting against a fellow Texan's bill, which is fine. I mean, he's got to vote his conscience, but his conscience is consistently wrong. Pete McNally says Diane Feinstein was out of it yesterday on a vote. Her aide had to answer for her. That's scary,
Yeah.
folks. I mean, I don't wish her any ill. I
No,
don't agree
no,
with
no,
her
no.
politics, but it's time for her to step down.
Go hug a grandkid.
She's not capable. There's a reason Thomas Jefferson said, come, serve, go home.
Yeah. Didn't he call it gentlemen farmers? The people who were supposed to be in office were supposed to be gentlemen farmers, people of the public, not a bunch of lawyers. You know,
Right.
lawyers are going to make laws to suit themselves. Well, you
It's
know the
true.
difference between a politician and a public servant. A politician, a public servant goes to office to do good. A politician goes to office to do well.
True story. And I've said this, and I've been very, very proud of, and I think it's emblematic of our district. But I have said to Michael Cloud, I said, my dad always told me, a lot of good men go to Washington. Very few come home.
Oh boy, ain't that the truth?
And
they lose their soul.
I just don't. I'll tell you that. Now I can't tell you that behind the scenes that Mike's not a negotiator, a wrangler, a tit for tat guy.
Right. A
'Cause I think
facilitator.
sometimes you have to be to get anything done up there. But he's not a compromiser in that he doesn't compromise his values. And even folks that I know who have run against Michael Cloud they have no issue with his voting record. He votes the way he feels, and he votes the way we want him to vote.
Constituents want.
I'm very, very, very proud and pleased
Absolutely.
of the effort
Absolutely.
of Michael Cloud.
And if when it comes to politicians, we were talking to one yesterday on the way out of here that I absolutely just adore. And that's Jeannie.
Yes.
Jeannie Morrison. That is a pure 100% unadulterated, beautiful Texas woman.
Well, and
She
Jeannie
is just a peach.
She had the folks, our friends from Armstrong Mayflower, were over here helping
That's
Jeannie.
right.
She's moving down to what they used to call the old Advocate Building, but
What is it? 301?
no,
building?
311.
311 building.
311 Constitution
Right.
and West Constitution. And she's going to be in there. And I think, if I'm correct, that Michael Cloud is going to move his local office over there as well. So that area, you'll recall, that's a building that it was bigger than the Advocate needed when the Advocate quit printing and they started subbing everything out to Corpus. And then as they've gradually over time basically quit putting out a paper, the Advocate had all that extra space and the county bought it for nothing, knowing that they had to do a lot to clean it up.
Speaking of the Advocate, did you see that Linda and I were on the front page of the Advocate about 3-4 weeks ago?
What for? Lost and found?
Well, we went to the VFW hamburger cook-off, and I was standing there getting jalapenos and mayonnaise and mustard on my hamburger.
Somebody took a picture
And
of you?
they took our picture, yeah, and put
That's
it right on the front page.
That's on the front page of the Advocate.
Now, it's on the digital copy.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was wearing this shirt, too.
That's it. There's our top story.
Yeah.
Junior likes jalapenos. on his
Oh, man.
burger. Good.
Ooh.
You know, though, I had somebody tell me the other day, I cannot remember what the subject was, but I can remember that the person who was the subject of the article said, "It is uncanny how they got every aspect of the story wrong.
If they got it
just
any more wrong, it'd be fiction.
Uncanny how they did that."
Well, I am thoroughly enjoying watching Hunter Biden's case just fall apart at his feet. That is just amazing.
So Ash has said that volume is low.
Oh, well, we'll turn it
We'll
up.
turn it up. We'll turn it up.
Dun, 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 dun,
Let's see if we can get his attention.
Turn it up. Good old Leonard Skinner. But no, I'm watching Hunter Biden just fall apart on national television. It's hilarious. Why did he need a 6 or 7 car cavalcade to take him to court?
Well, because he's just a private citizen.
Just a
He's
private citizen?
His daddy.
Oh, that's daddy's love is what it is.
Remember that-
At taxpayer expense.
Remember, and this is just one of my favorite Joe Biden lies. Some of you have heard it before, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful lie that Joe told. And I love to share it because he's sitting one-on-one, like me and you, being
Right.
interviewed. And the guy asks him, see, I remember when Joe Biden was doing political combat with Hillary Clinton, and he said, I can't believe that we've got to go have a meeting today, senators wasting their time talking about gay marriage.
Exactly.
Everybody. He goes, everybody knows
Now he's all up in it.
that marriage is between a man and a woman. And he basically was like, Jack, that was his attitude.
Yeah.
And he's always emphatic Joe. You'll notice that everything he says is always black and white. It's just rarely the truth. It's true.
Well,
I'm
it may
telling
be
you
the truth in his head.
And he said, he goes, I can't believe we're having to do this. Hillary called this meeting, blah, blah, blah. Well, now flash forward one term with Barack, and he's like, let the sun shine.
Well,
Just
I mean,
everybody come on in. I don't care. You know, and by the way, I don't love who you love, man. I don't care. Keep it out of my face. Don't be shoving it down my kid's throat. And at the same time, don't be a hypocrite.
Exactly.
Don't waffle with the wind. If you had a change of heart, if Hunter decided to take a male lover and you're okay with it now, then just go with it. But don't wear a pride T-shirt and have a parade about it. Nobody wants to see that garbage. So at the end of the day, my favorite Joe Biden lie, remembering that he was in his 60s when he told this first lie about, come on, everybody knows marriage is between a man and a woman. He claims that he was a senior in high school in Scranton, and his dad was dropping him off at high school. I got a flag going up right there. Senior in high school would crawl to school before he'd let his daddy drop him off at school.
Absolutely.
But that's okay. I just said, well, man, that's cute. Maybe they were a close family. You know, I mean, maybe his dad sniffed his hair too.
Exactly. That's where I was heading.
And then they say, he says, and as I'm getting out of the car, there's two men, and he emphasized two very well-dressed men. Both had suits and ties on. And they kissed right there on the sidewalk as one was going to work and the other was going somewhere else, maybe to work. And Joe says, I looked back at my dad, and my dad just looked at me and said, they love each other, son. They love each other. And I just went, you're such a liar.
Not in the 60s.
In the 50s.
In the 50s.
60s. There is no chance. There is absolutely no chance that a working class man, hetero,
right,
driving his son to high school, didn't give his kid a high five and go, look at those guys. Something, anything. There's zero chance that Joe Biden told the truth. There's zero chance that story unfolded at all.
Well, maybe his dad wasn't taking him. Maybe it was Corn Pop that took him to high school.
It's just a shame to
feel the hair
just
on my legs.
be such a liar. I don't get it. Nobody requires him to lie. That's the point.
I think he actually enjoys it.
Yeah.
Because he knows he can say some smack and nobody's going to say anything to him.
Oh yeah, I've watched him, and that's right along with the lies of where he finished in law school, his plagiarizing. The fact that I never talked to my son about his business dealings in Ukraine. Lie. You're a liar.
That's a lie.
You flew him on the plane over there. It's just, and you know what people say to that? Nobody gets upset about it. Peter McNally is not upset. Peter McNally doesn't agree with anything I just said.
Right.
And he'll say, well, Trump's kids work for him. Well, okay, if you're not going to...
The key word is work.
If you're not going to hold it against Biden, then don't hold that against Trump.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't get it. I think it's just craziness. Kerry Bump, good morning. Torrin Bell says, I'm hoping the county starts parking lot rehab on the lot next to 205. Yes, I do believe that's got to, good morning, Sheriff Louderback. Sheriff Louderback now kind of the sheriff of the GLO, working with Dawn Buckingham and her team, actually coordinating a team for the security of places like the Alamo, the border. I think he's going to take your alligator idea and go introduce those into the Rio Grande.
I think that's a great idea. Oh, by the way, I did a kind of a survey around town of my Hispanic friends, and they were like,
both of them?
Yeah, all three. There's three, actually. Three. And they were like, no, that's a great idea. He says, because we put them alligators down there, they'll just make boots.
Right. True story.
The ones with the great big fronts.
And they would be nice boots. Jim Hinojosa says, how about them alligator boots, Junior?
He's the one who started the alligator boots.
Oh, yeah.
He sent me a picture of some guys with them boots with them real tall. I said, hey, those are water skis.
Yeah, so back to what Torrin Bales said. I believe that, so for those of you that aren't up to speed on this, there is fiber optic obviously going in all over town, and fiber optic cable is going to change the capabilities of downtown Victoria. You're
it's
see,
going to be great.
more and more businesses able to do more and more things when you have consistent, reliable internet service in that area. And they seem to have found a spot. You know where Greeks 205
Yes.
is? And then next to that, there's a parking lot. There used to be a bank drive-through there.
Yes, that was a Wells Fargo bank. Right.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Whoever owns it, I think the county owns part of it, and then I'm making it up. A private citizen owns the other part of it, but I don't know why they haven't gone in and scraped those. You know, they've got
The medians.
the
Yeah.
curbs for the drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
They should scrape that and put one consistent surface along
Just for
there
parking?
and then landscape it a little bit. It looks like somebody came in, raised an old building,
Yeah.
and left all the garbage laying around.
But 205 ought to put a drive-through there.
But you can't drive through for a big old juicy ribeye.
Oh, man, their ribeyes are good.
But you would be surprised to know that is the epicenter of where the fiber optic cable needs to come out of the ground.
Oh,
So
well, that's cool.
If that does happen, it's going to change downtown. And I've been told, John Johnston, the county engineer, told me that they were working tirelessly with AEP and, who's the gas people? Centerpoint Energy and all those folks, because there's just a maze, a grid of pipes, conduit, wires, all kinds of stuff under downtown. Imagine what it was like 50 years ago. They just dig up the street, throw down some plumbing, and off we go. And now, you've got all that
It's a
stuff
nightmare.
laying around. But if anybody can make it look good, it'd be Torrin Bales. He
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah. Well, out there on the ranch, we've had to run electric lines underground and water lines underground. Every time I put a shovel in the ground out there, I got to call 811. And here comes all them pipeline easement guys. What are you going to do? Where are you going to put it?
Yep. Well, smart, though. They're trying to save your life.
Well,
especially if you use a
I've got
backhoe.
high-pressure gas lines running on right there behind the house. And, I'm still trying to figure out how to gopher in there and tap into it.
All right, Peter McNally, I've got one for you, sir. Sheriff Louderback is here. I'll throw this number out to him. I'm going to read a comment, Mr. AJ, and I will wait for your response in the comments section. Peter McNally says, "Hey, Brent, yesterday you said there were 45 million illegals in the U.S. Do you realize that would be over 10% of the U.S. population? Those numbers need some accuracy. Sheriff Louderback, if you'd like to give me a roundabout number,
We'd appreciate it.
you know what the catch and release ratio is. You know what the number is. Más o menos, very few. And I would love to have your comment in the comments section. I say that we're pushing 45 million illegals in this country today, and I'll wait to see what Sheriff Louderback says from a very informed position. And Sheriff, if you'd like to call in, we've got time for you, sir. 361-894-4020. Give us a call.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy talking to the sheriff when we go to bingo and stuff.
Yeah. Michelle Wilson Hawkins says, I spent the past 2 days in our little downtown, and it's really shaping up nicely. It is. I don't know.
Oh, P. Strauss is watching today.
Oh, good, Pete Strauss. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir.
He's so generous. Let me tell you that we were at a fundraiser for the Beverly Woods Foundation.
Yes.
And we were bidding. We were trying to raise money. And
You got to watch Bidding Against Lori. She gets mean.
Well, but he and I were. I didn't know that I was bidding against P. Strauss, and we were bidding on this really pretty commemorative Astros bat, and he Mr. Strauss just continued to win. He won the piece, and then he turned around and gave it to our boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was super nice. He wanted to make a donation. He wanted to beat me.
Let me tell you something.
Once again, the Aggies beat the Longhorns, and he did it.
There for a while, Pat and I were pressure washing houses and just working together, doing stuff, my handyman stuff.
Right.
And he would go to the A&M games and come back with all these A&M shirts because they sold them for $5 a piece, and I always needed work shirts. So I'm walking around town with like beat the hell out of this team or beat the hell out of that team, and one day he showed up to work and I showed up at the house, and we're standing there. Lori pulls up alongside of us, and she says, "Did you not even look at each other?" And we're wearing the exact same shirt, pants.
Beautiful.
We looked just like two big
That
old
was
Twinkies.
a rare day when Patrick Strauss was improperly dressed.
Yeah.
He was wearing exactly what you
Oh
were
yeah,
wearing.
he's always dressed to the nines.
No, he's always sharp. And then, so here's the way that I do this. I don't know if I can do it the way I'm trying to do it. I think I can. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, you just gonna call him?
Well, I just want to know.
Hey, kick it in gear.
See if he answers. He may not answer.
Miguel's Tacos.
Right. He may just go, hello. Hello. Nope.
You've reached 781.
He'll call us back.
Yeah,
Linda
he will.
Chris says, I believe Brent is correct on the illegals populations. I have no facts to back it up, but I still believe you. Cody Sugar says, where is Ash? I take that as a personal affront to my friend Junior. What does it matter?
Ash is out escorting his wife around in South Carolina.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
they're in Florida. Patrick
Oh, yeah.
Strauss says, you're welcome for giving you Junior. I mean, that's like saying,
I'm the gift that keeps on
hey,
giving.
I was going to say, Patrick, that's like saying, hey, enjoy that fever blister. I mean, thanks a lot.
Sorry about that herpes zoster.
It's just, oh, don't worry, it'll go away. It cracks us up because, and I never want to overdo it, but Junior is like, he's like the living punchline, right? I mean, he gives it better than he takes it. I mean, he's good at it, but people literally would come up to me and say, hey, man, you guys need to go easier on Junior.
Oh, no.
He's a good guy.
Sling
Robert's
it.
a good guy. I'm like, you're not getting the program, man. You got to listen more than once a month to understand what's going on here.
Trust me, there's a lot of stuff that gets said off the air that you don't know about. We come in here like 10 minutes earlier just to tell dirty jokes to each other because
Yeah.
we get it out of our
You
system
can't
because
tell
we can't
these-
do it here. So
Junior actually has Tourette's, and he'll say just about anything. So I've had people ask, only because inquiring minds want to know. Somebody asked, where is? I'm just enjoying this. Now it's Friday. We may just call you. Don't think
yeah,
we won't do
hey,
it.
you know what? That'd be a great idea. Random phone calls.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, you're live
would
on
like
Wade
to-
and Carter.
We would like to talk to you about your credit card score.
HR Mallory said, where is the call with all the road noise? So I said, I got to call Ash live. Where are you at are you in Louisiana yet, my friend? What is there, a time delay? Are we on satellite or what?
Uh-oh.
Ash. Cheryl.
Did your gummy
I'm
kick in?
driving in Mississippi.
Okay, you having a hard time hearing?
Hold on, I can't. Connection issue here somewhere, but anyway, I'm in Mississippi.
It's Mississippi. You don't have to get all that extra S in there. Mississippi. Right. Learn it, eh?
Mississippi, eh?
We've been missing you. Not as bad as you would
You got a
hope.
big bag of nothing this morning, don't you?
No.
No.
We got
Actually,
plenty
I
to
brought
talk-
in some stuff. Yeah.
We've already talked about John Cornyn, and so I'll ask you, Peter
just missed the road
McNally.
noise.
Peter McNally took a little umbrage with my comment yesterday that
45
that
million.
there's 45 million illegal aliens, illegal entrants in our country today. I believe that number to be very close. Do you agree, or do you think that I'm way high?
I think you might be high, but let's do the math real quick.
Let's do.
They already tell us that there's 1 million that come in every year that they know about, and they
Legally.
estimate and the illegally.
Oh, illegal.
Well, think about it. We let in 1 million. We let in 1 million a year legally,
Right.
and we're having over 100,000 a month illegals that we know about come in. There's 12 months in a year. That's
that
1.2
we
million.
know about. That's
That's what
1.2
we
Yeah,
know.
that's the
million.
one we catch.
That's like catch and release. And if we're only
Yeah.
catching 1 out of 10,
Well, and the government says as many as 1 in 4 get away.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm close.
So if 1 in 4 get away of the 1 million that we're catching, that's another 4 million.
Yes.
Right?
A year.
And if you extrapolate that 10 years,
there's your 40 million.
They're
not coming over here and dying. They're perennials. They're not annuals. And they come over here and they multiply. And their kids are illegal too.
Well, that one was crossing the border and delivering at the same time.
Yeah, that's a smart person. That's good parenting right there.
She just couldn't run fast enough.
Get that kid exposed to all the bacteria as we cross the river.
But that's our fault.
I was listening to a guy named Gordon Chang. He's a reporter. People need to follow him on Twitter.
Gordon Chang.
He is up to date. He is up to date on what's going on with the Chinese and the illegals that are coming through up through the Darien Gap. He says these are military-aged Chinese males who have no family affiliates, and they're coming here directed by the Chinese government because they will be the ones that wage war on this country when and if a war breaks out. They will be the ones to fight on U.S. soil.
I believe it.
China won't invade our shores. They are already sending people to be here. Now, why would China – what's the purpose for China to send illegals or people to this country illegally? Because if you think about it, they send enough people here legally to go to our schools and take all our knowledge back and to steal our secrets, as we find out so often, because we've arrested so many of them for stealing research and other information from our universities and research centers.
With our elected officials. Did you know the other day? Did you know that all these big cities all over the country have Chinese police stations?
Yeah, what's up with that?
And it makes me wonder if when the siren goes off, if all the folks who have been sent here will report to those stations.
There's in some cities there's 2. New York has at least 2 that they know about. Toronto has at least 3 of them. It's crazy.
Do you think we have one in Houston? More than likely, yes.
Judge Posey adds, Ash, he says, for what it's worth, the internet says about 20 million. But those are the ones we know about, so I believe you're probably right as usual. Thank you, sir. That means the world. Gotti bitterly says, I believe it. Joe Mendenhall says, check out Frank Gaffney.
Yeah, no, Frank Gaffney's another great one. Clear and present danger China.com or .org is his website. He's been involved in following Chinese and what they're doing since he was part of the Reagan administration. This guy is legitimate and knows. He's one I've followed for a while, and anytime I speak to anything about China, it's pretty much because of Frank Gaffney. The guy is a genius, and he's one of the few that's keeping an eye on what's going on with China and the Chinese government. But and just this week what's his name?
Jinping Pao.
The leader of China, he just disappeared. His third
pickup Andropov
cabinet member in the last 4 months.
That was my Uber driver.
Ash, I'm sorry. This guy.
I told Brent the other day I called an Uber and the guy was from Russia and his name was Pickup and Drop Off.
Nice.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. Ash, we need you back. The ratings have plummeted.
I'm doing the best I can do, but I'm
So,
giving it all I've got, Captain.
Were you listening from the very beginning of the program today, Ash?
What?
Were you listening from the very beginning of the program?
I missed the very beginning.
So I wonder, did you hear me talk about going over to the Kicks event last night?
No.
Oh, that was funny.
Coach, you're going to love this.
We don't need to rehash it and give them more publicity.
No, it doesn't. That's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it.
Carlos, my buddy Carlos Salas came in, and of course he owns Dodge City, and he's considering advertising with Wade and Carter because they have different specials every night. Thursday, like last night, was karaoke night. There were people in there singing. It's a hoot, Ash. We could have Wade and Carter night at karaoke. And I'm not kidding you. Of course, Ash gets up. He does a mean Suspicious Minds by Elvis.
Man.
Some people just do the song. Ash does the song as Elvis. He's like, what was the guy's name on Andy Kaufman?
Andy Kaufman.
That's what Ash is like. And but Ash, at the risk of giving them free publicity, Carlos comes on and goes, hey, just want to invite everybody out to the Kicks concert series. It's at their front door tonight. It's going to be on the patio. Come on over. So Dawn and I go over there just to support Carlos. And when we walk in, he's at the microphone. He goes, hey, I want to give a special shout-out to my buddy Brent Carter. If you're not listening to Wade and Carter in the morning from 7 to 8, you need to tune in. So
if I'd have known there was karaoke, I'd have been there last night.
He's at Kicks promoting our program on the Kicks event. So at the risk of giving them a little attaboy, JP and Ingra and I laughed about it, and they all said hi and that they really enjoy our program as well. So where will you try to make it to today, bud?
We're going to make it home today.
No,
See, that's a lie, because JP and Ingra are on the air at the same time as us, so they can't be listening.
They maybe they check in afterwards. He
Follow you on Facebook.
He did joke with me and said, hey, keep doing what you're doing. He said it drives people to my app. He's a good sport, though. He's a nice man. So good for them, But I thought it was funny that we got a shout-out. It'd be like being at an Atzenhofer event and somebody goes, hey, I want to give a special shout-out to my buddy there, the sales manager at Victory. Go on over there and give them a look for your next pickup.
What the Astros do last night?
Astros traveled last night. They're on their way to Tampa Bay and have the weekend series there. So, H.R. Mallory, traffic update real quick. DPS working a major crash on 77 near the Wellhead Tavern. So that's out there on the loop on your way if you're going around the loop on your way to Corpus. Expect delays and take alternate routes as troopers work to investigate and clear the scene. So
it's a mess over there.
Karen Murray says, I think illegal Chinese police stations in New York could have covert locations in Houston.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Brent Anderson.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh,
I'm sure there's a Chinese police station in Houston, probably 2 of them.
By the way, I misspoke. Dawn T-Lat checks in and says the Astros play at home this weekend against Tampa Bay. I'd love for them to take 2 out of 3 against Tampa Bay. I think they're tired right now. I do. I think they that loss the other night took a little bit out of them, and I look for them to win 1 out of 3 against Tampa Bay. Ash, we'll let you go, bud. I know you're driving. We're gonna go
drive careful.
We're
Bubba.
gonna take a break and then talk some smack. So travel safe and let us know when you get home tonight. Okay?
Will do.
All right, baby. Y'all be safe. We love you.
See ya.
Bye, bud.
Bye.
So that was Ash checking in, folks. Allen's Record Service. Allen's Record Service, no doubt, out on 77 right now near the Wellhead, helping DPS clear that scene, 578-6300, all the way up to a 75-ton crane. If you've got a big rig that rolls over, they go out there now and they put bags under it and they inflate the bags.
Lift
And
the bags up.
It's not like a big grappling hook that just mars everything. They try their best to salvage everything involved. Also, the VCS companies for all your communication needs. You heard Judge Zeller say yesterday we spent $5 million upgrading all the communications in all of the sheriff's office. That's a lot of money.
Yep.
But the VCS companies are the right people to help you solve all your communication problems. Chesapeake Furniture, why not go by and get a Best recliner, a Tempur-Pedic bed, a Stearns & Foster bed? Great brands, great prices, great family. Bobby Leon and his family serving you and yours for generations, over 100 years in downtown Victoria. Man, that was a good spot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a good spot right there, folks.
Oh, man.
Help me do that
That's
again
quality
next week.
radio.
That was
That's good bingo.
That's good radio. That's good bingo. Let's play this damn game. Veracruz, the best Mexican food in town. Today's your day. You're not in there today. You're not in until Monday. Now, don't forget, tomorrow from 11 to 2. Man, I'm glad I did this. Tomorrow from 11 to 2. $10 a throw. You can get by Veracruz parking lot and pick up a plate lunch.
$10 a head.
To benefit the Victoria Northeast Little League in their quest. They're going. We're just trying to help them defray some cost, and they're working for it. These kids were on Canes night when the folks at Raising Canes were giving them like 10 or 15% of the proceeds. Yeah. the kids weren't just sitting at home playing PS5.
No, they were out there with signs.
Very, very nice,
Standing out.
very thoughtful
They were-
group of kids.
They were humping it.
And they were nice kids, and the parents were nice. It was good. And I want to give you one more because I was asked to do it by Lisa Boone. By the way, if you have something that you want people to know, we don't mind doing it. That's one of the reasons we created this forum. We don't charge you for this. I mean, I'm
It's
not
public. It's a public.
Yeah, it's
Service
something that
announcement.
we can give you that all it takes is a minute, and we'll give it to you. They're having a benefit barbecue for Sister Barbara Clay Gibson, and Miss Gibson was one of the founders of Family Table Restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
a great place.
and she's a member at Zion Tabernacle Church. $14 a plate, barbecue plate, trimmings, and a soda. The benefit dinner will help defray medical expenses incurred by Mrs. Gibson in her recent illness. Super nice lady. She looks like a saint. And so 11 a.m.
She
tomorrow.
looks like you walk in her house, she will feed you.
Oh, I'm telling you. Saturday, July 29th at Family Table Restaurant. So that's 1102 South Moody. You go right across the Moody Street Bridge,
Can't
right there on
miss
the
it.
right.
They make
$14
a
a plate.
great lunch.
I guarantee it's going to be great. Go by a Family Table tomorrow and help Ms. Gibson.
You know, the proceeds from that restaurant, I do believe, go towards the church anyways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. They're very, very faithful folks. Yeah. Tomorrow, 2 years since my father passed away. Love you, Dad.
That's
Miss
about
you.
mine, too.
Yep. Miss you, Daddy.
Yep.
It's nice to be a big grown man and call,
I
your,
actually-
call your dad Daddy.
No, mine was Pop or something like that. I actually
I called
go-
him Chief a lot.
Chief. Yeah,
But-
I won't tell you what he called me. But
Yeah. No. He called you someone else's
Yeah.
kid. But, you know,
why are you giving me Father's Day presents? You know it's the milkman.
I was always the guy who was unashamed to show my dad affection in public. I would walk up and, of course, he's a man's man. My dad would always stick his hand out, you know, and I'd take his hand, but I'd always hug him and kiss him on the cheek. And
Yeah.
You'd hear people go, you know, oh, look, Carter's got a soft side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, he's got a soft spot, too.
Right. Let's see. What is James Carter? Good. I'm trying to read some of this stuff.
Good to know I need.
Oh, Callie Frome says, that was Ash checking in. You called him. He had no choice. He didn't have to answer, Callie. He didn't have to answer.
So technical.
Right? She's fact checking us.
Yes.
You know what? She does that on CNN all day. She's going nuts.
Oh, man. That's an all-day job.
Oh, James Kerr says, it's good to know. Thank you, Officer or HR Mallory, Super Trooper. Says, I need to go through there shortly. Apparently, it's good to have, he'll have to take a different route.
What side do you want him on?
I want him over wherever he wants to be. He's the brother man. We're going to be joined here in a second by Brother Gary Moses, just cause he can. Hello, great one. How are thou?
Great to be with y'all. No, don't worry about that. Keep it on y'all.
You look so sharp. Hang on
Well,
a second.
thank you.
Man.
No, that's okay.
No.
I don't want to touch you. I might
Told
cut
you.
myself.
Well, I love being with y'all, too. You had a full show yesterday, and good to see you. I saw Kenneth Sexton again last night, man.
That was really a good interview. I enjoyed
Good
talking to
interview.
him.
Yeah, the two good boys in here
Yeah,
yesterday
yeah.
with two other good boys, made four. Right.
You
Junior,
know, I haven't been called a good boy in a long
you
time.
have been. Junior, he's hollering at you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's-
Junior's got ADD so bad.
Oh,
Right.
you just do not know. You see, my mother was a D, my dad was a D, and I'm a doo-doo-doo.
He's unbelievable.
When
So,
you
sir, tell us what's going on. Give us a little
Well,
tidbit about you. So,
we-
you know about the Gibson barbecue at Family
Yes,
Table tomorrow.
we mentioned that.
Thank you, sir. And then
put
you
it
know
on
about
both
the-
stations. We did.
you
We'll
know
do
about
it
the
again.
Little League deal tomorrow.
Little League tomorrow at Veracruz.
Yes, sir.
11 to 2. The Gibson deal at Veracruz. And then also, Warriors Weekend, Ron Coach said to you hello. And
Tell him,
they are
yes.
doing a benefit. Atzenhofer, one of your sponsors,
Yes,
is
sir.
providing that pork chop meal. All proceeds go to Warriors Weekend. That's tomorrow at Atzenhofer, 11:30 to 1:30.
Who's doing the cooking on that?
Atzenhofer?
Oh, wow.
So you
They're
think
cooking
about
there.
this: between 11 and 2, you can drive around this town. If
And
one
Monjay.
kid wants pork chops and one wants barbecue and one wants whatever, you can get it.
You got it, man. There's so much going on. Plus, all kind of back-to-school events going on. There's a lot, and I mean a lot. So I wanted to get that in there. Last night, Mark Jameson was with me. We did Tip a Cop, and I would have said that yesterday had we got on. But they had a full crowd at the Roadhouse.
Yes, sir.
For Special Olympics, and
Oh,
we
that's
raised
awesome.
a ton of money. All the tips and people were giving because
You know,
they
Mark
loved that.
Jameson really is. He's a really kind of a silent treasure for Victoria
treasure.
because he was number 2 under JJ. He was interim chief. He was number 2 under Robert Arredondo
Right.
and was interim. Whatever role the city needs him to fill, he
can
fills
do it.
Steps up into
and
it.
along the way, he does tons and tons of donated time.
Yes, he was with me. We covered the front door. The rest of the troops with the sheriff's department and the police department were waiting the tables, and we took care of the front door. And I mean to tell you, there is a lot of money for Special Olympics. Good stuff.
Good for them. He's a super fine gentleman. It's good that he. By the way, brother man, I got something you got to try.
Yes, sir.
You know where the chopping block is, right?
I sure
there, going
do.
north
I,
on Navarro.
I talked to him at the ball game last night. He came
Let
up
tell
to
you
me.
what, they're having what they call dino ribs,
Yep.
and they're beef
Today?
I'm in.
You need.
Is that
I'm
for
telling
lunch?
you, yes, sir.
You better
need to
get there early.
It
I'm
is
in.
a big old honking piece of beef on a rib. It
Brent,
is.
he told me about that last
Oh, my
night. I saw him at
goodness.
the Generals game last night.
Generals win.
They won, man.
There you go.
They're rolling.
7-2. They're rolling.
Yeah, they've
they haven't
been
lost a
rolling.
home game in like 14, 15 games.
Right. That's a lot of.
That's a
cold beer.
lot of.
Those people out there now. That's a whole different crowd out
Right,
there.
it's
You
a
know,
different
get out
crowd.
there
You
to
know
the
about
Generals
that.
game.
You were
Woo!
there a few times.
Woo!
Yeah, I've been to a couple. Believe it or not, I've been to a couple of Generals
Attaboy,
games.
Junior. Supporting the cause, right?
Well,
Well, you know, the
thing
beer's
is-
cold.
The thing is, what you realize is,
Jimmy's there.
yeah, Jimmy's there, and you know, you get out there with that group on the compadres deck out there. I think
Yes.
it's maybe the Atzenhofer deck, the deck,
It is
whoever's
the
deck.
deck.
It is, Interstate Battery deck. There's a lot of great folks.
I
out
saw
there.
Interstate Batteries there too.
and those guys are. It's kind of like there's a happy hour going on with
Yes.
a ball game in the
Oh,
background.
yeah.
But those people all they're like, oh, coming up next, like they have a certain hitter. And
Yeah.
if the Generals strike that guy out, then
Free
it's
beer.
free or half price beer for
Yeah.
the rest
Price
of the
bill
inning.
the rest of the inning.
The guy, like, you know, it's summer baseball. The guy looks at the crowd and winks and strikes out so everybody
Yeah.
can get a beer. You know?
Go get a beer.
It's great stuff.
You're right about
Well,
that.
I don't know if you know Bill Crandall.
I do.
His dad is Del
Comes
Crandall.
up. Yes, Del Crandall.
Yes.
Milwaukee.
Yes,
Braves.
and
Back
the
in
Braves.
days.
Yes,
Braves.
He lives
I've
right
met
here
him.
in town.
Milwaukee
In fact,
Braves.
He and I went out there, and he would save me those aluminum cups.
Bill Crandall.
Yeah,
Good guy.
nice guy.
Del Crandall. We had his card. Brent, I had his baseball card.
He
Are
was
you ready
not
for this?
He was a good player, not just a player.
he was a good player.
I met him before he died.
Really?
Yes, sir. He
Good
came
for
right
you.
here, and I
That's
had
the only
dinner
way
with
to
him
meet
in
him,
Las Palmas.
Junior.
Del Crandall.
That's the only way to meet him.
I mean,
Right.
it's a little tough to meet him when he's dead.
All right.
I realize that.
All right.
Scott Tomko says, Dino ribs with that white shirt, brother man. Be careful.
Yeah, I might have to take that home late.
Right?
I took my Roadhouse meal. I ate it at home late last night.
But you know, some of that is like,
Thanks, brother.
You just kind of want to just get it all over you.
Yeah.
You know, just get in there.
I got
Right.
I got an image of the brother man in a recliner with his TV on, with no shirt, just eating a dino rib.
Well,
And nobody want to see that. Ain't nobody want to see that.
when the brother man's at home and he wants to relax, he puts on a light starched.
Yes, that's
White
right.
starch.
That's right.
He sleeps in a button down.
He irons his Carhartt
It's like,
shirt.
do you sleep on your back? Like, you can't roll over in this shirt, man. You can't do it.
You got me. You got me.
You don't have to reveal your source, but tell me that you have a dry cleaner sponsor.
I have to have one.
Right.
No
I was gonna
kidding.
say,
Have to have one.
got to, man. Got to have one.
It just goes with the territory all these years. I got a little something for you, buddy. I got a couple of things right here.
Right?
You ready for a little
Yes,
sports?
sir. Tell us,
sir.
my
All
man.
right, NIL. Texas has two of their sports stars that are
Right.
at the top of the NIL. Name and likeness.
Yeah.
You get paid. Number one in football, you know who that is. Arch
Manning.
Manning. $2.8 million. If he stays with Texas, he gets $2.8 million. God. You ever get that when you went to college?
No. No, my dad felt like I was taking that off his
He said,
MasterCard.
you
but-
cost me $2.8 million, right, son?
right? That's the way it felt, my scholarship.
So he's number one in football, and they have the number one track guy Texas has, Sam Hurley. I don't
No.
know, but you know what he's getting paid to run track? $946,000.
Wow.
Signed with University of Texas.
Wow.
How about track star Sam Hurley? $946,000.
Brother
How
man,
about
you've
that?
been holding out on us. Gil Garcia fronted you out.
Gil, I love you, Gil.
Today's your birthday, sir?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right. Thank you, Gil.
Well,
Thank
happy
you, brother.
birthday.
Thank you, guys. They
You're
say
only
you have to
55
have one.
once.
Yes, They say you have to have one every year. Is that right?
Right.
You have to have one every year. So
You knew my dad well. My dad would always say, "Just another day."
just another day.
Just another
and
day.
you know that what my dad said, and we've said, and we thank you, Lord, for another day. That's
That's
Amen.
it.
And
I'm,
you know, the
I'm
other
glad to
side
be
of
on
that
this
is-
side of the daisies.
yeah.
The other side of that is it's just the number is just relative, so other folks can feel bad about how good we look. You know,
I hope you're right.
right? We look so good.
I hope you're right.
Brother Gary
boys looking good.
Brother Gary looks so natural.
I know.
He has to go by Gray's funeral in the home and want to get his makeup done. Come on.
He just walks by and goes, "I'm still kicking."
Yeah, I know where it is. I know where that place is too. We've been there enough.
He walks in and Charlie Highbolt gets out that tape measure.
No, he just gives him a hug.
He tells Brother Man,
I do give him a hug.
he tells Brother Man, "You're funeral ready, baby.
Oh, man.
We don't have to do a thing. Just put a coat on you."
I
go.
told Brent
Thank
the other
you,
day,
guys.
I
Thank
said,
you, Gilbert.
I told Brent the other day, I said, I've gained so much dadgum weight and I've gotten so fat that I'm going to have the 2XL urn.
You know, it's just like the airplane. You know, what do you do when you walk down and you're in seat B and there's a lady in seat A that's just spilling over into your seat? They're going to charge you extra out there at Memory Gardens to put you in the dirt,
I
man.
mean, well, not only that, but they're going to have toxic waste dumping.
You got a lot and a half. Takes a goat to mow your.
You need
to
more
mow your-
pallbearers. You're gonna need more pallbearers too, right?
We need some more handles on that
Hey,
thing.
you guys look good.
Wait a
But
minute,
you know,
there's
we
only
can
two
all-
handles on a garbage can.
We can all use to lose a few pounds. That's why I
Absolutely.
got to watch out for that strawberry shortcake.
Oh.
Somebody bring
I
it
know
once.
that's your favorite.
That's my favorite right there.
Yes, sir.
And you saw with the highest paid NFL quarterback now, or the highest paid
Man,
player,
that Justin Herbert.
Herbert.
So check these numbers out. This
it.
guy signed a 5-year extension with the Chargers for $262 million and change. And 133 of it is guaranteed money. If he goes out tomorrow, breaks his foot, and can't
He's
play
got
football again,
133.
they're writing him a check for $133 million.
He
And
is
they
the-
want to know why the tickets are so high.
Well, yeah, but man, oh man, I did not know that he was that great.
3 years now in the league, and $52.5 million. It's the highest paid quarterback or highest paid player. They're the next guy that's going to top him. You know who's up for his contract? Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's got. But did you
Cincinnati.
see that he's on the rack right
He
now
got-
with a bad calf?
And they're going to keep him though. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
they
they'll
did.
keep him.
He injured it in practice. I heard.
Yeah, they're saying that the
Cincinnati.
Bengals aren't giving him enough time to rest. He's not resting. He's
No.
They're
forcing
working him
it.
too hard.
Well, for the money they're going to pay him, they want him out
They're
there.
going to pay him. He'll top that contract we just mentioned, Herbert's. He'll top that. He'll be the
When
highest
Patrick
paid.
Mahomes got a 10-year, $500 million
Right,
deal,
we
we
thought
all
that
thought
was
that
it.
was crazy money.
Crazy.
And now that's just the standard.
Well,
now.
you're going to see Shohei Ohtani get that kind of money.
Yes, sir.
He's going to get that. You know, he came up for 10 at-bats. They said in 2 games last week, they walked him 8 times
Yeah.
out of 10.
Because
You
they're
know,
afraid of him hitting.
You want to know the last player that had that kind of respect was Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. They walked him all
They
the time.
walked Barry Bonds with the bases loaded one day because they did not want to take a chance on
That's
him
right.
hitting a 4-run home.
4-run home. They could give up 1, didn't want to give up 4.
Think about that. And,
All right.
and mathematically, probably a good idea. 'Cause
Yeah,
you got-
yeah,
if
I can see that.
If you're going to put him on base, I mean, if you're going to pitch to him, you can't throw him anything that he can turn on because he's
That's
going to
right.
put it in the river or in the bay. So you might as well not even waste the 4 pitches. Just put him on first.
Yeah.
Walk him 8 times out of 10.
Crazy.
Two
So he
Two
just
games.
goes from the dugout straight
That's
to first
right.
base.
Might as well walk right straight to first base.
Yeah.
That's it. They could say, we'll put him on like that.
You know, I'm sorry, but if I would have been him and I walked up to bat, I'd just throw the bat down and walk to first base.
Right,
and
just to
went-
go ahead. It's hard
just to
you
hear
know
the
it.
crowd laugh.
You know, brother man, brother
you.
man, one thing you got to know is you have a great following here. HR Mallory says, "Good morning, brother."
I love
G.
HR.
Karen Murray says, "Happy birthday to a great
Thank
person."
you, Karen.
Jim Hinojosa says, "Junior, I'm going to need to make you an urn with wheels to push around."
Yeah. He
My
could
goal-
do it too.
We'll see you get there.
Yeah.
And brother man's never been upset about us just like shamelessly promoting things. I think, Lord help us, 2 decades from now, when the brother man passes, if we're still doing this radio program, we will try to set a record for him lying in state longer than James Brown.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll take him down.
Do
to
him
the-
right here.
James Brown, right here.
Come on by and visit. Come on by and visit the brother man in the rotunda at
Right.
the community
You
center.
know,
Ice and beer provided by Jimmy and the folks at Glazer.
Well, I'll still be rocking and rolling. Yeah,
You know,
well, I appreciate that.
we would-
what Russian leader is it they got over there that's still preserved? It's Stalin.
is still preserved. Was he a mummy?
Yeah.
yeah.
He's we ought to do the same thing.
Kendra Douglas
We
says,
need to
happy
do the same
birthday,
thing.
Brother Gary.
Thank you very much, Kendra.
Brother man, we love you, sir. It's top of the hour. We've got to go. You got another program to do.
And I'm going to go to Walmart. They have a re-grand opening over there, the one on the Houston Highway, so I've got duties over there.
A re-grand opening.
Yeah, they remodeled it.
They
got a
picked up
picture
all the
over there.
diapers in the parking lot. They're going to
did.
start over.
That's what they did.
Oh,
you
man.
behave yourself, buddy.
Hey, we love you,
Y'all
sir.
love y'all
Brent,
both. Thank you very
for
much.
having me this week.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, brother.
I did too. Hit cut, and we're out of here.
God
Folks,
bless y'all.
have a great weekend. We love you, folks.
Have
Bye-bye.
a good one. Bye-bye.
Well, I've been kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for drugs.